Hey everybody, welcome to class today. Today is going to be a core focused forward folding inversions class. If you enjoy these classes, please remember to like and subscribe. Maybe tell a friend. It means a lot to me. And if you want to see more of something, or if you have feedback or requests, let me know in the comments or send me a message on Instagram. We are going to get started today lying on our backs in Shavasana. Lying down on your back in a comfortable position, maybe the legs are straight, maybe the knees are bent. You take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And just start to settle into your breathing pattern, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, feeling the lungs expand, feeling the chest expand, feeling the belly expand. And as you release that breath through the mouth, feel the belly deflate, the ribs deflate, and the chest fall. One more like that. Nice deep inhale through the nose, feel everything expand. And then big open mouth exhale, feel it let go. And start to breathe in and out through the nose, directing the breath down to the bottom of the belly. Just letting go of whatever has already happened today, and whatever is yet to come. Coming to the mat with a place of no judgment, no expectation. Meeting yourself where you're at. Meeting your edge, maybe pushing your edge, but never pushing through your edge. You don't want to injure yourself, respect yourself. Take one more breath here. And exhale. You can keep the eyes closed or you can gently open them. Keep the natural curve in your lower spine, but make sure the back of the ribs are in contact with the floor, and bring a gentle awareness of the frontal ribs drawing towards the frontal hip points. And you're going to float one leg up to tabletop and then float the other leg up to tabletop. Make sure as you've done this, one of your hips hasn't hiked closer to the rib cage than the other. If this is hard, you're going to stay here, otherwise take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to tap the right foot, the right heel down, so keep the knee bent. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, bring it back up. Keep going like this, maybe taking the hands to the ribs and the pelvis to make sure that you're not twisting through the pelvis, you're not arching the ribs up towards the sky. See if you can relax through the shoulders, the jaw and the neck. The work is in the center. Take a few more here. If this is good for you, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, you're going to float your arms up towards the sky. And the next time as you take the right heel down, you're going to extend the left arm overhead. Again, making sure those ribs don't flare. Bring it back to center. Exhale, extend it long. Inhale it back to center. Take one more on each side, just like this. You can choose to keep going here, otherwise this time extend the right leg long, extend the left arm long, draw it back into center. Extend right arm, left leg, draw it back to center. Keep going like this, making sure that the knee that is bent is staying directly over its hip. You're not drawing the knee in towards the chest. If you're doing this properly, you should definitely feel the whole of your center starting to work. Keep breathing nice and deep. Maybe you can hear the sounds of the amateur trumpet players across the road. Fun times on a Monday afternoon in Mexico. And take one more or make yourself even. And then float it back to tabletop. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a rock side to side. And then you're going to float the legs directly up towards the sky. So the ankles are above the hips. If this is too much, you're going to come back into your tabletop position. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Keep the elbows wide. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, think of tucking the chin gently towards the chest and then peeling the spine off. As opposed to just yanking yourself up, really think of engaging as if you're sliding the ribs down towards the pelvis. The head rests heavy in the hands, no tension through the neck. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to take the right leg down to hover. Inhale it back up. Exhale it down to hover. Inhale it back up. Keep going like this, keeping the shoulder blades off the floor. And if this breath pattern doesn't work for you, you can always exhale as the leg comes back towards you and inhale as it moves away. If this is working well for you, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, the next time you take your right leg down, you're going to extend your left arm back behind you. Bring it back in. Extend the right arm, left leg. Inhale, bring it back in. So just like we did, except now we've got longer levers. You can stay here. If you want to challenge yourself more, you're going to bring those legs down to a diagonal and then start to take the left leg to hover. Right arm reaches. Bring it to the diagonal. Right leg to hover. Left leg reaches. Opposite arm to opposite leg. Ignore me. Keep drawing those ribs and hips towards each other. Lower back does not have to be flat to the floor. You're keeping the natural curve, but you're not arching away from the floor. Take one more each side. And then draw everything in. And then from here, you're going to extend those legs back up towards the ceiling. Start by taking the hands down beside the hips. You're not really pressing into the hands, they're just kind of there as an anchor point. From here, you're going to think of moving the feet straight up towards the sky, lifting the hips off. So don't swing the feet back up towards the face. Think of trying to tap the sky and then release the hips. Tap the sky and then release the hips. See if you can hold it for a second at the top. You should feel this in your lower belly. So if you're feeling it in your upper belly, you're probably swinging your legs towards your face too much. See if you can just think of lifting the hips up, almost as if you're trying to just pull on your jeans, like that last bit of pulling your pants up. That was probably not the best example. And we're going to do 4 more. If you want more of a challenge, you can take your arms up above your head. One more. And then draw the knees in towards the chest. The last one here before we get off our backs for the moment. You can either stay with what we just did, otherwise you're going to interlace the fingers behind the head, curl the ribs towards the pelvis, take an inhale, and then as you exhale, think of crunching the sternum towards the knees as you lift those hips up. Release it down. Lift hips, lift shoulder blades, lower it down. You're going to take 6 more. Again, seeing if you can get a little bit of a pause at the top. You might have to balance on your spine if your spine's a little bit bony like mine. Added challenge. Because I'm terrible at counting and I can't even count to 8 apparently. We're just going to do 2 more. Sorry if I made you do extra. I'm sure you'll survive. And bring it down. Hug those knees in towards the chest, give them a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then you're just going to plant the feet down, hips distance apart, and lift the hips up, coming into a bridge, just to open up the front of the hip flexors, the quads. Maybe you reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, roll the spine down. So we're going to do a roll up, kind of like they do in Pilates. So you're going to take your legs nice and long. Your hands are going to float up and overhead on your inhale. And then you're going to think of tucking your chin to your chest. And just like we did before, you're going to curl the spine up. So I want you to really round your spine as you peel yourself up, almost like a zombie. And imagine that you're coming over a barbed wire fence, so your ribs are curling up and over the fence as you reach towards your toes. And then keep that C curve in your spine. And you're going to start to roll yourself all the way backwards. So I am by no means a Pilates instructor. This is not a technical kind of Pilates move. We're just sort of incorporating it into our yoga class. So start to float those arms out in front of you, chin tuck, fold yourself forward by peeling the spine off. Keep rounding that spine, come up and over your barbed wire fence, reaching towards the toes. And then keep that curve as you roll down the spine, seeing if you can get each little vertebrae to hit one at a time, kind of like you're putting a pearl necklace down onto a tabletop. Inhale, float those arms up and overhead. Exhale, start to tuck the chin, roll yourself all the way up. Nice big C curve. Touch the toes. And then we're going to roll it down. Last time, you're going to inhale, float those arms up and overhead. Don't let the ribs flare. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin, cervical nod. Start to roll yourself segment by segment all the way up. Come over your fence and tap the toe. Roll yourself all the way up to a long seated position. We're going to do a little bit of core work in Dandasana, our staff pose. So extend the legs nice and long in front of you. If your hamstrings are super tight, you might need to sit up on a block. Try and get your shoulders up over your sit bones, or your legs nice and straight on the floor. And we're just going to start by inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, keep a nice tall spine, cactus through the arms. So this is a really good postural exercise. You can always sit against the wall. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Keep going just like this. Think of lengthening through the back of the neck as if you were up against the wall and you were trying to get the back of your head to the wall, the back of your shoulders to the wall. And then just like you did on the floor, make sure you're not just popping out through those ribs. Keep that rib to hip connection. Nice length and natural curves through the spine. We're going to take 4 more. You'll probably feel your hip flexors talking to you, maybe your quads. Inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. Exhale, briefly fold forward into your Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. And just like you're peeling up your spine, you're going to start to stack all the way back up into your staff pose. This time your hands can stay down by your sides if you want to, or you can float them up and overhead for an extra challenge. Sit nice and tall, and as you exhale, you're going to float the right heel. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, float the left heel. Inhale, set it down. Keep going like this. Make sure that when you lift your leg, you're not collapsing through the spine. So again, if you need to sit up onto a block, or if you need to bend your leg slightly to make this happen, then that's what you do. We're going to take 8 more on each side. Three more. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold it forward. This time grab a hold of the pinky toes, bend the knees, so walk the heels in. And you're going to come to sit back just off your sit bones, so somewhere between your tailbone and your sit bones. You can stay just hovering the heels up off the floor, finding your balance point, or maybe you start to extend those legs nice and straight in front of you for Dandasana. Keep nice and tall through the spine, as if someone's got their knee in between your shoulder blades and they're reaching that upper part of your back forward. Really engage through the quads, so don't just yank on your toes to straighten your legs. Really use the muscles to get that straightness in through the legs. From here, you're going to keep a hold of your left big toe. With control, you're going to release your right big toe, and just like we did in staff pose, you're going to tap the heel to the floor, and then you're going to lift it up. Tap it down to the floor, lift it back up. So you're aiming to get that foot as close to in line with the other one as you can. So as you can see for me, I can't quite get it there. That's okay, we're just working in that general direction. One more. You grab a hold of that right big toe, extend the leg. Slowly, with control, release the left. See if you can keep that foot hovering at the same height as the right. And then tap it down. Raise it back up. 5 more. Keep the length in the spine. You can have a gentle C curve in your lower spine. You don't have to be completely flat through the whole spine. Last one. Grab a hold of the left big toe, take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly bend the knees. From here, you're going to plant the feet just wider than hips distance apart. Use your hands if you need to. You're just going to crawl yourself forward, and we're going to land in our Malasana. So this is our first kind of hip opening shape, so if you need to, you can come into a high Malasana. I'm going to turn around so I'm facing my microphone. You can come into a high Malasana, you can have a block underneath your seat, do whatever you need to do to make this pose accessible for you. And take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, plant the hands, step left foot back, right foot back. We've landed in our plank pose. Dropping the knees is always an option. Wherever you are, a nice long line of energy, engage through the tops of the thighs. Send the sternum forward, the tailbone back, and lengthen through the back of the head so that the head's not just flopping forward in between the shoulders. Engage through your lats, those muscles just underneath your armpits, almost as if you're dragging your shoulder blades back towards your hips. And bring the big toes together. Start to roll to the outside edge of the right foot, Vashisthasana. Option to stagger the feet if you want to. Same action of drawing that right shoulder blade down. One more inhale. And then exhale, come back through your plank, roll to the outside edge of the left foot, send that right arm up towards the sky. Option to stagger your feet wherever you are. That right hip is stacking on top of the left. Left shoulder is above left wrist. One more. And then as you exhale, bring it back to plank pose. Feet hips distance apart, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank pose. One more like this. Exhale to dog. Inhale to plank. This time you're going to walk the knees underneath the hips, coming into your bear crawl. So the knees are hovering above the mat. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten the legs. So we're in a shortened downward dog, like a pike position. Inhale, come into your bear, engage the center. Exhale, come into your pike. Take 3 more just like this. Exhale, come into your bear. Wait for the laundryman to come past. You're going to plant down through the left hand. You're going to take the right hand, tap it to the left shoulder. Right hand down, left hand, right shoulder. Left hand down, right hand, left shoulder. Right hand down, left hand, right shoulder. Keep going like this. You're trying to keep your knees both facing the ground, therefore your hips both facing towards the ground, and you're trying to minimize the sway from side to side. So you will have to transfer your weight, but as much as you can, try and keep an even weight through both feet. If this is working for you, stay here. Otherwise, as you take that right hand off, left foot floats. Set it down. Right foot, left hand. Set it down. Keep it going. The knee is staying bent. The foot's just floating. This is working, stay here. Otherwise, right arm reaches forward, left leg reaches back. The right leg stays bent. Bring it in. Reach, left arm, right leg. Bring it in. 2 more times on each side, whatever you're doing. Keep that knee bent, keep it hovering, the stabilizing leg. And then send those hips all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Come up onto the fingertips. This is not comfortable for you. You're going to stay on the palms. And then ripple the spine forward into your plank. So now you're in a plank on your fingertips. From here, you're going to drop right palm, right fingertips, left fingertips, left palm, left fingertips, right fingertips. Keep going like this, and just like you did with the shoulder taps, you're aiming for as little side to side movement as you can. There will be a little bit, obviously, but you're aiming to keep it as steady as you can. Strengthening through the hands, the wrists, and the forearms here. Make your way onto your fingertips. Send it all the way up and back, downward facing dog, drop the palms. Inhale, shift yourself forward into your plank pose. And then as you exhale, you're going to come to hover, chaturanga. Elbows hug the sides, shoulders higher than the elbows. And just like you do in plank, engage the thighs. Gentle scoop of the lower belly. One more breath. Press the floor away, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the top of the mat, step walk the feet all the way to the backs of the wrists. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. Just take a ragdoll, maybe interlace the fingers and give the wrists a little bit of a shake out. And then gentle bend in the knees, drop the tail towards the floor as you stack the spine, coming all the way to standing. As you inhale, you're going to reach the hands up and overhead, and you're going to start to open and close your palms. So you're squeezing your fingers to your palms as hard as you can, and then you're going to speed it up. So you're going to go as fast as you can. You should really feel this starting to work way more than you think it should. In your forearms, in your hands, in your shoulders, because you're holding your arms up above your head. And keep going like this. Draw your attention to what you're doing in your spine. Are you shoving your belly forward, arching your lower back? See if you can direct that tailbone towards the floor so you're not tucking your pelvis. You're just coming into a neutral spine, gentle rib to hip connection, shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the back of the neck. Take 2 more breaths. And then on your exhale, forward fold. Whew, feel that zing in the arms. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Lower chaturanga. Listen carefully. Inhale, straight back to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Step, walk or float to the top. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We've got 4 more rounds. Move at your own pace. Add any movements you want to. Inhale it up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you add a crow pose. Maybe you add a little bit of a hop towards handstand. Maybe you add a flutter kick. However you get there, we meet in downward dog, going straight from chaturanga to plank. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale to raise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, float, crow, handstand. Make your way to chaturanga, plank, downward dog. As always, move at your own pace. You don't have to be with me. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to raise. We've got 3 more rounds. I'm going to leave you in silence. Make them your own. Add, subtract. Do whatever feels good in your body. If you finish before me, you can feel free to keep doing a few more rounds. You can rest in child's pose. You can fast forward. Don't you love YouTube? And when you're ready, if you're not quite with me, you can always pause it and resume when you're ready. Otherwise, we're going to inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Step the right leg forward as you inhale, warrior three. Nice and strong on that right leg. Exhale, set the foot and the hands down. Right leg steps back to a single leg plank. Single leg chaturanga. Inhale, single leg plank. Exhale, downward dog. Just an option. You can always take a normal chaturanga. Step the left leg forward. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, step it back. Option single leg vinyasa. Option straight to downward dog. Option normal vinyasa. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Right leg steps. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, set it down, take it through your vinyasa. Left leg steps. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, take it through your vinyasa. Step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Right leg steps. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, vinyasa. Left leg steps. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, vinyasa. Step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. 2 more rounds just like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step, walk or float. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step, walk or float. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, Ardha Utkatasana. Send the hips back further. Bring the torso parallel to the floor. And if you can, the arms reach forward. If not, they come backwards or cactus arms. Sink the hips a little lower, reach the torso a little longer, 2 more breaths. Back of the neck is long. And fold it forward. Feet hips distance apart, hook the fingers around the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Take the left hand to the hip, shift the weight over towards the left leg, and then come all the way to standing, holding onto that right big toe. Knee can stay bent, or drawing the right shoulder back in towards the socket. You're going to start to straighten that right leg out. Think of drawing the right hip crease down. From here, start to send the hips back, torso forward, start to bend into the left knee. We're coming down into our pistol squat. So maybe you need to raise up onto the toes of the left foot. Now you can keep hanging onto the right big toe, or maybe you release the toe and reach both arms forward. Your foot might be flat to the floor if you have the flexibility. You can always have your hands on the floor if you need help with balance. And if this is not good for your knees, then you're just not going to come down this far. It will come down to wherever feels good for you. And from here, you can choose to not hold on to the big toe if you have the strength. Otherwise, I'm going to hold on to the big toe. We're going to come all the way back up to standing, Dandasana. And then slowly with control, we're going to release the grip on the big toe. Keep the shoulders stacking up above the hips as you reach the arms up above the head. Make sure that your toes aren't spinning out to the side. Keep your toes up towards the sky. Engage the front of the thigh. And then from here, we're going to pivot forward, coming back into our warrior 3. Time we're going to hold it. All 5 toes of the lifted leg point down. That right hip spins down towards the floor, and the left hip draws towards the back of the room. Maybe a gentle bend in the left knee. Hands can be to the heart, or they can reach out in front of you, behind you, wherever you want, really. Hands to blocks if you need balance. And then as you exhale, fold forward, coming into your standing splits. Same thing, right toes point down. Option to take the hands behind the back of the left leg if you're working on your balance. Option to keep staying here for another few cycles of breath, or you can plant the hands working towards an L handstand. So your right leg is going to go up and your left leg is going to stay parallel to the ground. Using your fingertips as brakes. Keep extending through the lower back. And then you're going to float that left leg down, step the right leg all the way towards the back of the mat, landing in your runner's lunge. Feel free to stay here, feel free to drop the back knee, otherwise you're going to hug that left knee in towards the center line, reach the arms towards the front of the room. If this is too much, you reach the arms towards the back of the room. Nice long line of energy from fingertips through to the back heel. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten out through the front leg, coming into your extended pyramid pose. You can stay here, or if you're familiar with flamingo, or if you want to give it a go, take those hands back underneath the shoulders. The idea is that you keep that front leg straight and your torso back, and you're drawing that right knee in towards your chest. So I'm very, very not good at this shape because I'm not really flexible enough through my left hamstring, but ideally you want to stay as much in a pyramid shape as you can, and then draw that right heel towards the right glute. Mine looks a bit more like a lazy standing split, but that's okay. If you brought that right leg in, you're going to set it all the way back. Everybody come back to your runner's lunge. Send the left leg back. Take it through vinyasa. Option to keep the left leg floating. No upward dogs today. Look towards the top of the mat. Step, walk or float. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale, come into your Ardha Utkatasana. If you want to up the ante, maybe you come up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, fold it forward. This time feet hips distance apart. Lift the fronts of the feet as you slip the hands, palms up underneath the soles of the feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees any amount. You're straining the hamstrings, only a stretch. From here, you're going to release your hands, hook the peace fingers around the left big toe, shift the weight to the right leg, come all the way up to standing on the right foot. Stay with the knee bent, or draw the left shoulder back into the socket, extending the left leg forward, dropping the left hip down. Slowly, you're going to start to send the hips back, start to bend into the right knee, coming all the way down into your pistol squat, or as far down as is comfortable for you. Feeling free to take the hands to the floor for extra balance. Staying with the grip on the left big toe, or releasing the left big toe, coming to balance in your pistol squat. With or without the grip on the left big toe, you're going to come all the way back up to standing, maybe using a little bit of a nudge from your right hand if you don't have the flexibility. And then with control, you're going to release the grip of the left big toe, send the arms up and overhead, keeping the shoulders above the hips, and extending that left leg as straight as you can, knee and toes up towards the sky. From here, you're going to start to pivot forward, coming into your warrior three. Gentle bend in the right knee if you need to. Draw the right hip crease back. And then as you exhale, release into your standing splits. All 5 toes of that left foot point down, and you're really using the back side of that left leg to lift it to the ceiling. Maybe take the hands behind the back of the right leg, Or maybe if you took it on the other side, we're working towards that L-shaped handstand. This time the left leg will be up and the right leg is working towards parallel with the mat. Whoops. Slingshotted myself off my clothesline. And some days it works, and some days it doesn't. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you will know that sometimes I land it, and sometimes I stack it. Wherever you are, you're going to float that right foot down, send the left leg all the way to the back of the mat, landing in your runner's lunge. Draw the right hip back. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you float the arms behind you, or reach them out and long in front of you for your power lunge. And then start to straighten out through that front leg. Draw the right hip back as you fold forward into your extended pyramid pose. Feel free to stay here. If you want to try flamingo on this side, you're going to ground down through the right big toe and second finger and start to try and draw that left knee in towards the chest. Try and keep the bum back as much as you can. So maybe I'm probably not the best example of this pose, so maybe look it up on Google if you want to see a prettier version of the pose. But we're working on it. And then you're going to step that left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Step the right leg back, option for a single leg vinyasa. We all meet in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale and a big exhale. Drop both of the forearms down towards the mat, dolphin pose. And then as you exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, lower both of the forearms. Exhale, press the floor away, downward dog. 3 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, press the floor away. Inhale, dolphin. Exhale, dog. 1 more time. Inhale, dolphin. Exhale, dog. This time as you inhale, come into dolphin pose. Maybe walk the feet a little bit closer. And then from here, you're going to take the feet about maybe like a footstep or half a footstep backwards. Look forward in between your hands. If you've been with me before, you've done this. You're going to shift yourself forward, tap nose between thumbs, shift it back. If it's not comfortable with the forearms parallel, you're going to interlace the fingertips. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, come back. We're doing 8 more. This is 1. I'll count this time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more. 7, keep the elbows under the shoulders. 8, slowly lower the knees, come back into a brief child's pose, just let the shoulders stretch out. And then snake it back forward into your dolphin pose. So elbows or forearms distance apart underneath the shoulders, tuck under the toes, walk yourself forward. Maybe you're staying here in your dolphin pose, and that is wonderful. Otherwise, if you're coming to Pincha Mayurasana, you're going to step 1 foot forward and then imagine that you're standing on the ceiling, engaging through the glutes, pressing the floor away. I'm on an uneven floor, as always. Really engage through the shoulders, lengthen through the lower back. I'm not having a good inversions day today. Take a few more breaths to play. I encourage you to try doing this away from a wall. A wall just makes you super reliant on the wall, and you don't end up developing the muscles that you need to balance and press the floor away. And then you have to learn to break away from the wall, which is even harder. Take a few more breaths. And then wherever you are, we're going to make our way back into a forearm plank. Elbows still underneath the shoulders, forearms are parallel. Engage the lower belly. Think of drawing the elbows back as you reach the sternum forward, but don't let the lower back drop towards the floor. From here, you're going to rotate to the outside edge of the right foot, maybe angling in that right forearm if you need to. Reach the left arm towards the sky. Baby Vashisthasana. And then you're going to take that left forearm back down, rotate it over, coming onto the left side. And then coming back down into your dolphin, dropping the knees, sending it back into a brief child's pose. So we got one more inversion here. We're setting up for a supported headstand. So you're going to interlace the fingers in a basket, untuck the pinky fingers, crown of the head comes to the floor. You're going to walk the toes in, fold one knee in towards the chest, other knee, maybe stay here, or using your glutes, your lower back muscles, you're going to extend the legs up towards the sky. If this version of headstand is working for you, you can stay here. If you want to challenge, maybe you come all the way down with just as much control. You're going to bring the crown of the head down towards the floor, and you're going to extend the fingertips back by the knees. From here, you're going to prop up onto the to the toes like you would in a tripod headstand. Be up on the fingertips. Knee fold one, knee fold two, and with just as much control, you're going to start to send the legs up towards the sky. Keep engaging the legs and the glutes, working the back and the front body. Maybe you can start to lift a couple of fingers off, balancing on just one or two fingers on each side. If you want to stay longer, feel free. Otherwise, you're coming down with as much control as you came out, tucking the knees in towards the chest, and then slowly, maybe hovering the toes, and then setting them down. Release the crown of the head, release the hands back by the feet, coming into your child's pose. And giving it a sway from side to side. And then we're just going to release ourselves forward onto our bellies. So we're going to do a little bit of back work to kind of counter all the front work that we did. Reach the hands out in front of you, feet are hips distance apart, palms are down. Keep the forehead down on the mat. As you exhale, you're going to lift left arm, right leg. As if you're in a game of tug of war, go for length as opposed to height. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Inhale, set it down. Keep going just like this. I want you to feel this in your glute, your hamstring, and the back of your shoulder muscles. I don't want you to feel like you're gripping in through your lower back muscles. You can keep going like this, or maybe you start to peel the sternum off so you're not throwing your head back, your head is long. The engagement is coming from the upper back. The pubic bone presses down and you're nice and long through the lower back. One more on each side. Set it down. Once again, you're going to keep the forehead down. Float the arms off, the legs stay down. As you exhale, you're just going to cactus the arms. Wrists stay in line with the elbows. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, draw it back. Take a few more like this. Again, this is a really good postural exercise. This is working for you here, you can stay here. Otherwise, slightly different muscle group. You're going to peel the chest off, keep the feet down. Exhale, draw those shoulders in. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, draw the elbows in. Take 4 more. Lower it down. Once again, we're keeping the forehead down. You're going to take the legs wide off the mat, pinky toes towards the sky, arms off in a starfish shape. Take an inhale. Keep the chest down. As you exhale, you're going to lift everything off. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, lift it off. Keep the external rotation of the legs. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, lift it off. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, lift it off. Inhale, set it down. Stay here. As you exhale, lift the chest. Keep it raised. Inhale, lower the limbs. Exhale, raise. Inhale to lower. 4 more. Make sure those shoulders aren't coming up by the ears. And then exhale, set it down. Hands underneath the shoulders, press yourself back. Child's pose. And then sneak yourself all the way forward. Roll over the ankles, come to sit on your butt. Send the right leg long, interlace the fingers underneath the left foot, and then send that left foot forward for heron pose. Nice and tall through the spine, even if that means you need to bend the left knee a lot. And then slowly set that left foot down. Interlace the fingers around the right foot and bring the right foot up. And then slowly release that right foot down. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. You can feel free to hang out here in your Paschimottanasana. Otherwise, just like we did at the start, you're going to interlace the peace fingers around the big toes. Walk the butt towards the heels so that your hips end up at the top of your mat. Rock back to that balance point between the sit bones and the tailbone. Maybe stay with bent knees or extend the legs. Maybe keep them together, or maybe come into Supta Uttanishta Konasana. by spreading the legs wide. You can stay here. We're going to take some rolls on the spine. So think of that C curve. Roll back along the length of your spine. Catch your balance on your shoulders, not your neck. And then roll all the way back up. Try and catch the balance on the way back up. Roll back. Roll up. So keep going like this. See if you can roll evenly on your spine. So you'll probably try and kilter off to one side depending on where you're strongest or which side you're strongest on. We're going to take 2 more rolls of the spine. And then everybody is going to meet in Navasana. So if you're in your Paschimottanasana, you're going to bring the legs up into Navasana. Last bit of core work. Take an inhale here. Exhale, Ardha Navasana. Inhale Navasana. Exhale, Ardha Navasana. Inhale Navasana. If this is working for you, stay. Otherwise, as you exhale, you're going to reach the arms up and overhead in your Ardha Navasana. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, arms reach overhead like you're taking off a top hat. Inhale, Navasana. Exhale, Ardha. 3 more. Hold in your Ardha Navasana. If you can, reach those arms up by the bicep. Oh my goodness, arms up by the ears. Had a long day at work. 2 more breaths. And then draw it all in. Give your knees a squeeze. Give it a little rock from side to side. And then you're going to extend the left leg long on the mat. Extend the right leg up towards the sky, grabbing a hold behind the leg anywhere that works for you, pointing and flexing the foot. You can stay here, or you can roll the chest up towards the thigh, maybe floating the left leg off. And then you're just going to switch it out. Draw it in towards the chest, and then take the knees over towards the left side, coming into your favorite spinal twist, whatever that looks like for you. Keeping the right shoulder down, even if that means the left knees don't touch the floor. And then bringing it back through center, switching it over towards the other side. Draw yourself back in through center. Give the knees a squeeze. Take any other movements that you feel like you need. Maybe a happy baby pose, maybe a bridge pose, whatever it is that your body needs to make you ready for your Shavasana. And then when you're ready, come to rest in your final comfortable resting position, whether that's seated, lying on the back, knees bent, knees up the wall, legs up the wall. Wherever you are, turn the palms up towards the sky. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And let it go through the mouth. And just feel your body start to be heavy. Start to release. Letting go of anything that is not serving you in this moment. Please feel free to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you have time for it. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Today, as you go forward, may you have clarity in your thoughts, kindness in your words, and peace in your heart. Namaste.